Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? I'm Mega Kitatas. Alright, just for now I'm decided to talk about a little issue that had went a little bit down under the radar because due to the situation with VTubers, Niji-sanji, there is one story that actually went really under the radar, and that is in regards to anime localization. So what actually happened? Well, as reported by Niche Gamer, they actually wrote a report about how there is a apparently there is a YouTuber who trying to talk about that they rewrote the whole script, they make it better, the show was not good along the line, and it's really interesting in a way is that because this is a YouTuber well known as Jello Khalid. I really hate words that are more than three syllables. But anyway, he apparently is one of the person who help behind the scene, which is basically doing the translation, or in this case is not doing the dub but more like rewrote the whole damn script. So apparently that based on the report, he is not the only one for the job. Instead, he is actually contracted by writers and voice actor Melissa Lestin to assist them accordingly. And knowing that this one is going to dub the show as cheaply as possible because someone is the fan of the series, but then again, they condense for the source material, so it's like they will be working for free, and some people volunteer to work out or to help out along the line, and then someone brat that they changed the whole script. Well, the funny thing is, right, if this actually went through, it will open up a floodgate for people to be mad at anime localization or translation. Because the thing is, right, it's not about the issue where it involve a trans woman, or it's not about the issue of oh hey, people is trying to say that the translation is very hard along the line. It will open up the floodgate that if this translation does went through, where the YouTuber brat about a lot of the thing that he had changed to make the show much better based on the translation along the line, and it will cause a lot of people to be hating not just at the anime but more towards localization. The one thing that I've been very vocal is that while I do not support many localizer, it does not mean that all localizer are bad. There are still nice localizer that are doing the job accordingly by translation of words to word, line by line of the original source. But then again, there are also quite some of people who decided to just throw in their idea, their political stuff, their ideological stuff, their mindset, their whatsoever to make it even more worse. And it really kind of like just show how not in touch they are with the market, how not in touch they are as a fan. Even if they claim they are a fan of the series, or they like anime, or maybe some of them may claim they hate anime, which I don't understand why they are working as a localizer. I mean, if you hate anime, you hate game, you want to work as a localizer, that's not a job for you. Try consider other job that may be a much better option. So the thing is, right, it's really interesting that at this time I'm really kind of going to give quite a few of my take. Basically, I feel like there is a moment where sometimes localizer have their ego reach to the head, or more like to reach to their butt along the line, where they are not thinking straight and just release every single body, toss it out of their lower body part. So it's actually kind of interesting that when you look at the whole situation, considering that these YouTubers claiming that the show is not good, the show sucks, and they make it better, and they have to. So basically, what they mean is that because it's a dub is basically a lot of people would deem it as a dumb way of translation, basically, which is the reason why it is stand for D and not the S. Sub is basically a subtitle, which a lot of people say it's as claimed to be a unofficial or fan translation, and it's really more on the better translation no matter how you look at it. So when you got the official way of translation, it tend to be a little bit of doesn't make sense or doesn't follow the original source, which is the reason why a lot of people call it the dub. And dub tend to be well known as the rewritten version of the original source. And whether you like it or not, dumb to me is really just a form of calling it a dumb way of translation by the localizer. Whether you guys like it or not, whether to all the localizer want to hate me or not, for me at this point of time, if the dub is not following the original source, I will say that the D really mean dumb way of translation because it's really, really bad. Now, the thing is, right, this YouTuber claimed that they are making it better, meaning to say that if the show did not come out as good as they claim, it will cause a lot of people to be hating on the localizer, hating more on the localization. So basically, it means that this YouTuber is opening up a floodgate of people to hate on localization. And it's actually amazing that how the company actually hired this person, or more like this person claimed to volunteer to help out, and they just outright allowed him to do so. And it's really interesting that he's trying to put up his credit, like basically he wants his name in the credit, indicating, oh, I have help out in the dub. Well, the funny thing is, right, Hero did talk about this, and he actually talked more into not too much detail, but a little bit into the detail on each of the story. But I'm just more giving chipping in more stuff. So if you guys want to know more, go and check out his video along the line and see what his situation more about. But he also say about the CEO situation where he has a brief with them accordingly. So I'm not the type of person to put up more to that. I will let you guys to go and check out his video after the video. The link will be in the description below, so you guys can check it out later. But the one thing I would say is that the way there are some people defending localizer, I mean, like, if all the localizer are doing a good job, yeah, thumbs up. But then again, when you are doing a poor job and creating a lot of issue that people are starting to be aware of, it really bring raise an eyebrow, bring more eyes into the product, not in a good way, but a lot of people starting bashing on it. Now, what does that mean? Well, the thing is, right, like I mentioned, like why I call dub as the dumb way of translation. The thing is, right, the reason is very simple. With the advancement of technology, AI, all these things, right? Like even in my sometime in the past, I talk along the line of AI may be replacing replacing translation, localizer, make translation much better along the line. I will put up some of the video that I taught previously in the link description below, one or two of them, but there may be more link in those videos, so you guys can check those out later on. But the thing is, right, people are not dumb. Well, there are dumb people in this world, I won't deny it. I am also very stupid myself. But if you look into how AI or translation is getting much easier to go about, easy to access to, you can actually sometimes find the raw or basically the original Japanese source and then translate using the translator, and you well, not 100% good, but it also means to say that you will find out the discrepancy or the contradicting stuff that is done by the localizer, which actually back the question that what would the localizer have been doing? Well, some of them may be doing their job accordingly, translating the word as close as possible to the original source. There are also some people who love to add in their TP, their so-called Easter egg, or more like in this case, mess up the whole damn script, rewrite the whole damn script, add in their ideology or their psychology or what their politically stuff into the whole damn script and make it even more. And it's one of the reasons why when people more talk about it and when more people talk about it, it get viral in the social media, let's say Twitter ads, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you get from. And and when more and more people talk about it, whether they try to defend the localization or whether they hate the localization, it will got more and more people to talk about it. And when you got more and more people talk about it, you can see a lot of issue with the localization where people are now, based on the skilling, right, are now defending the original source and that the localization should deserve to be kicked out and be replaced by AI. Like, because I'm not saying that all the localizers should be kicked out, because there are really nice localizer, they are doing their job accordingly. But on the other hand, it also means that when you look at the whole situation, right, if the localization is done poorly, people will be aware of it. People are now sometimes watching the original source or listen to the Japanese source while watching the English source, and they will slowly catch on to it, and more people will start hating on the Western side, which is one of the reasons why when people ask me, like, sometimes why do I play most game in Japanese or whatsoever, it's not because I want to learn Japanese for the sake of it. I mean, like, I went to Japan, stay in Japan for 6 years, I get to learn Japanese for 6 years, improve my Japanese on 6 years, and then right now I kind of say that, yeah, maybe I did went to Japan to learn Japanese. But then again, right, when I realized a lot of the English dub is actually making no sense or seems to make the story weird, you will sometimes try to find the original source, the Japanese version, to see where is it. And when you slowly listen, or sometimes when you come across a fan translation which is much better, you will find out that it make 100% more sense than the 0 sense that the dub always tend to give you. And considering it, if this, like, again, if this is really, like I mentioned, if this actually went through, it will just prove that some localizer just trying to rewrite their own script because they couldn't be a good writer, or maybe they couldn't even come up with a better story themselves, and they want to add in their own take into the story itself. Meaning to say that they will try to claim it as their story now. Now, it's really a bad idea to do so, considering, again, I mentioned the advance of technology and AI, and people are now really able to catch on to this kind of thing easily. Having this kind of people in the internet trying to brag about it, I mean, like, he's a YouTuber, he brag about it, which is kind of interesting. But now that people are now already hating on localization for most of the majority of the people, especially otaku. And mind you guys, even the Japanese people are aware of such situation where they are aware that there are localizer who is twisting their take on their favorite anime, games, or manga, and it really caused quite an uproar where there are people who say that, yep, those people deserve to be replaced by AI. But like I mentioned in my previous video, that time I say there are still some Japanese people who believe in the part that, yes, we have to replace the bad one, not the good one. The good one still get to stay. But it just also proves that this YouTuber is just a very bad localizer. Maybe not, maybe, I don't know. But if he can brag to the point that he's making the show better and he's rewriting the whole script, yeah, it bet the question about how people will be looking at the company doing the translation or the whole situation as a whole. And now here's the funny part about the translation that, or the dub that is done by the YouTuber. Well, apparently there's a new update. I mean, like, when I was watching this, they say the lovely complex dub writer, we make it good, this show suck. And then after that, the update, the change that the YouTuber did claim to make are allegedly not even in the actual dub. So there is a update where his vandalism didn't even make it to the final cut, and it really begs the question like, while there are some people going along the line that claim that he claimed that he didn't like the manga artist or whatsoever, or maybe he want to change the whole story himself to make it that as if he's the one writing the story. Well, apparently they claim that there is no vandalism, there is no line that is written by that person, and it's just basically the person trying to brag that he was part of the team along the line. But with the change that allegedly that did not make the line, people are still still concerned about his intention to do so, because the thing is, I mentioned, people will worry that if he claimed that he had worked in the localization, and it just proves that there will be people who is trying to destroy anime or the game translation, as most people have been voicing their, or even in this word, echoing their concern. The thing is, right, it's really kind of funny that did it kind of backfire on the YouTuber. From how I look at it, yes, in a way. I mean, like, all he's trying to show that, oh, I did try to do the whole story, and then the company just said that allegedly all of them did not make the final cut. It's really bad. The question is like, why is he even part of the team, even when he volunteered to it? I mean, like, if he volunteered to it and he's doing a poor job, just kick him out in the first place. If he's trying to brag about it, he's just trying to claim that, oh, he's trying to add something to it. I mean, like, in a nutshell, it's just basically he want to add something to his resume that he had worked for this translation, this company with. I mean, like, if you work for anime and the anime go out well, you can brag about it. But if most of the thing did not make the final cut, I think that he doesn't deserve to be put in the credit, or doesn't even deserve to be mentioned in the mention it or brag about it in the first place. But it's really better question. Do company allow this kind of hiring or this kind of volunteer to do this so-called vandalism or localization, to be, if you will? And it's really kind of got a lot of people to be worried that how many these kind of people have been working in localization. And it's really kind of funny to me is that how this person brag about it, didn't even got his word share on made to the final cut, and now people are just talking about it. And it's really kind of funny in so many ways, is that, oh, he brag about it. If he actually keep quiet and it actually went through, then it will even be more worse, because the thing is, right, like I mentioned, people will go and catch on the words by word, line by line, and people are not that stupid. Now there are people doing some sort of like localization police, and basically what it means is that those kind of people are now watching the dub version and the sub version, or maybe the original version, and trying to catch who is doing their job poorly. So if the dub are making a poor translation, or like I mentioned, the dumb way of translation, then they are not going to have a good moment for their future. Because if the company do a poor job in translation, it will mean that people will start voicing it on the social media, more people will talk about it, and when it got to the ears of the Japanese original source, the original source of like, let's say, the manga artist or the studio that do the animation or the game studio that did the game, they may end up not even signing further contract with the company that did the dub, and it will not look good for the company. And at this point of time, my advice to all the localization is that they are, for those who are doing a good job, thumbs up, keep up the good work. But those people who try to be a translator or doing a poor job in translation, or try to just add in their own ideology, their whatsoever thing, and or maybe worse, come to worse, rewrite the whole damn script, yeah, I think you might want to reconsider your job career. I mean, like, if you hate doing this kind of thing, why are you doing this kind of thing? I mean, like, it's really better question, like, is it no other job want to hire you along the line is very iffy for me. I mean, like, I tried to get a localization job, I couldn't even get in, and those kind of people can easily get in. Nande, wakarimasen. そんなの簡単ですか? Like, so basically, if I want to be a localizer, I have to do a dumb translation. I have to rewrite the whole story. I have to make the story even worse. Then I can get hired. And I'm not showing the respect to the original source, for goodness sake. So, at this point of time, I feel like, do this YouTuber deserve to be called out? In a way, I would say yes. And do he deserve the backlash on not having his on having most of his thing get cut, didn't make to the final cut? Oh yes, because if the company actually let his vandalism to the final cut, oh, that's not gonna be look good. And it, again, like I mentioned, it will open up a floodgate of hate against localization, and especially the company itself. And even if there are people who defending the YouTuber, if they are doing a poor job, then I think, yeah, there will be a flood of hate towards him, whether you guys like it or not. But who knows? I mean, like, this is something that I'm just voicing my take, my speculation, as well as my prediction in a way. But we can only wait and see how the anime come out, what kind of view people can talk about. But it's very hard to know at this point of time, considering that a lot of people are hating on localization. Even I myself tend to listen to the Japanese source more than the English source. Not because I don't like the English source, it's more towards that sometimes the English source does not either make sense, and it's more makes sense in the Japanese version for me. But it's really kind of like telling people to like, the dub is kind of like, let's say, in a positive way, they are kind of encouraging people to watch the unofficial translation, the fan translation, or more towards the point of just learning the Japanese on their own and then watch the original source, like me. But with that being said, I think we should kind of like discuss it further in the comment below. What do you guys think? Do the localizer really should do their job properly, or should they do something like this YouTuber trying to vandalize the whole original source? Or do you think that there are stuff that I miss out? Write in the comment below and we can discuss it further. But with that being said, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that never follow a single trend. But if that, well, if you do want to discuss it even further, sometimes I talk about other stuff, you can check me out in my live stream at the same time. And I hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye.